Hello and welcome to Loquitur Gaming. Today I'm actually pretty excited about this playthrough. This is for Tainted Grail, the Fall of Avalon. I got this a couple of weeks ago, and since it came in I've been reading the rules. I played the tutorial scenario, so that's the one thing I've done so far. And I've actually been working on painting the minis. I know it doesn't change any of the functionality of the game, but I really like looking at painted plastic on the table. Yeah, so I think this might be the first Awaken Realms game that I've played. I can't think of any other Awaken Realms game that I've played. But I'm just going to dive right in. And the first thing I'm going to do actually before I start double checking setup and everything is set the stage with this short little paragraph from the rule book. This island was never meant for humans. Looming on the border between our reality and the ancient power known as the Weirdness, it was populated by a mysterious, legendary race. Humans came here anyway, with their wooden ships, their ambitious king, and his fellowship of knights. Running from a plague ravaging their distant homeland, they took the island piece by piece, raising menhirs of foreboding shape and mysterious purpose. The former masters of the island faded into legend. 400 years later, not even their name remains. The people of Avalon call them the Foredwellers. Times are harsh. The Red Death is back. The menhirs are dying, and without their power, the land itself crumbles back into the weirdness. That's why your hometown has gathered 5 of its strongest and wisest heroes and sent them to find help in distant Camelot. As these champions set out to brave the dangers of this wild land, you watch from afar. You are not one of them. It's kind of an interesting premise for a game where you're like the second tier, not the first tier heroes. All right, so for character setup, I'm going to be playing as Beor. I had all of his stuff ready from the tutorial, so I thought I'd just give him a go. So just a note that I'm not sure how the difficulty is on this game. If I die or fail the campaign, I'll probably start again, maybe playing with a different character just to get a different feel for somebody else. I'm going to stick to true solo for now. I may try two-handed at some point in the future just to see what that's like. All right, so we've got Beor. I've marked his health, energy, terror. Starting attributes are 2 aggression, 1 courage, 1 practicality, and 1 caution, and he's got 3 food and 1 wealth. Oh wait, there is a little bit of flavor text here. So it's Beor, a local smith known for short temper and incredible strength. He does his best to conceal a festering, unhealable wound in his side that he received under mysterious circumstances. He's got an ability, his special ability is to craft for 4 energy, which is kind of a lot. He can draw 3 random craftable items and pick 1, only in settlements. And he has a festering wound. His festering wound says he loses a health every time you become exhausted. So if I dip down into the red level of energy here, he'll lose health. I've got his dex created up there. I've got his advancement dex over here to the side. And now there's a little bit more flavor. There's a lot of story in this game. I've heard from some other reviewers and stuff that this game is a really great story. So there's going to be a lot of story here. Beor, you are always a good lad and a great help. I would have closed the forge long ago if not for the strength of your arms and your resolve. I feel I owe you something. And just another real quick note, I'm going to be butchering the pronunciation of probably every name in this game. When I told you to stay in Connacht to keep an eye on my property, I misguided you. The forge is already lost, just like the rest of our land. The sagas of old are true. Our island once belonged to twisted, immortal powers. It was not a place for humans. But Arthur, the first of the kings, who landed on these shores with our people, subdued Avalon inch by inch. He took the Grail from the Foredwellers and used it to bring seasons and cycles known from our world to this godless place. We all thought the menhir in our village was raised to immortalize this. The truth is, it was created to keep these ancient powers at bay. Now the menhirs go dark. Something has broken. Spring will not come. The animals won't breed. Lord Yvain secretly gathered the 5 strongest and wisest people of Connacht, including me. He leads us east to seek help in Camelot before it's too late, before the land starts sinking into the weirdness. If we don't return, it means we have failed, and the fate of Connacht falls to you. Yvain didn't want you with us due to your lack of experience and short temper, but I've always believed in you, lad. Save our people, or if you cannot, try to save yourself. And I think this is Earfrey? I don't know. Earfur? I don't know why these people can't be named like Steve and John or something. Okay, so that's the starting letter. We also get a map of the area, and it's funny, there's a little note in the rule book. It says, beware though, the cartographer who created the map lived over a century ago and his drawing may no longer be accurate. So I'm guessing there's going to be some stuff on here that's not correct. So we're starting here in Connacht. There's like a village and there's like a little menhir, and you can see other menhirs and other settlements. Like there's Camelot, another menhir, but there's no menhirs like anywhere on the map basically in this whole quadrant over here. So there's got to be one over there somewhere, or else you wouldn't be able to get to it based on the way this game is played. Okay, so that's the map. And I think that's it for character setups. Then world setup. We've got the starting location. I've got a menhir and a dial set to 8. So the dials, I'm still in the process of painting them. You can kind of see the numbers. If I zoomed in, probably a little bit better. You can see the numbers on this side, and I've got the skull painted. I've only got the grails painted on the opposite side. I have not finished the numbers. And I'm going to keep working on that in between game sessions. So we've got that. Let's take a look at the starting location, and then we can take a look at Beor actually also. The tops of these will get cut off a little bit. So the only thing you can't see on there is that it connects to 102 on the top. But you can see that there is a dream here. That's that blue circle underneath the title of the card. There's a friendly settlement. That's the green circle in the middle. And there is a menhir here. That's that one on the far right under the title of the card. So for 1 energy here, we can do chores for the townsfolk to gain 1 rep, and we can do that once a day. Our flavor text here is, its history as vast as its graveyard, its future as empty as its houses. So that's our starting location. Here's our menhir. Kind of see it's a little dark. And he's got some candles on the back side, lit up on the bottom. Kind of went for a stone and wood look on most of the menhirs here. And then we've got Beor. I think the static grass on here is going to play a little bit of havoc, yeah, with the green screen. But this is going to be our hero, Beor. All right, and we've got the rest of the locations set up around it. I'll probably put them up to look at when I'm going to walk to them, or if I'm discussing something about the action on them or something. So we've got the Hunter's Grove up here, Chart Conclave, Forlorn Swords, and the Warrior Fair. All right, build the starting section, prepare the encounter cards, secret and item decks. I've got the item deck up here. My secret deck is over here to the side. I'm using these business card holders to kind of try to save some table space. I've got a fresh save sheet here with all the little stuff that we'll mark off that we get in the story. I do have a set of help cards that I'll probably be referencing fairly heavy from the beginning, just to make sure everything's going okay. I don't need a chronicler. And now we're supposed to set up the first chapter. So setting up the chapters is done with using the chapter setup cards. So I've got the chapter 1 setup card here. Prepare the event deck. Find all parts of Chapter 1 and stack them from 6 on the bottom to 1 on the top, which I've done here. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. I've got those in a business card holder off to the side also. Always take extra care when building an event deck and double check that it's stacked correctly. Some event cards will modify the deck and put random cards basically on top, it says. Then you got to make sure that you don't mess up the order of your event deck if you're asked to remove certain cards. So then the back side. Prepare our initial encounter decks. So all of my encounter decks have the level 1 encounters in them, because like it says there, for 1 player we use the level 1 cards, but I'm also including at the front of each stack the Your First Encounter card for each color. The rest of them I'll shuffle when it's time to draw from that deck. Then shuffle the decks, and then it says, yeah, if it's your first game, put the first encounter card on top. You're now ready to start Chapter 1 of the Fall of Avalon. As your first action of the game, try exploring your starting location. Remember to read the introduction of the exploration journal before you explore for the first time. Now discard this card and reveal the top card of the event deck. So we have to look at this first card first. So it's Chapter 1, Part 1. Place this card on top of the active quest pile. The time is short. The guardian Minhir that has been protecting your town since the ancient days is about to go dark. Rumor has it that there's a secret druidic ritual that may help you rekindle the Minhirs. You must explore the location surrounding Connacht to find it. So we have a quest. Earn a Minhir's Right secret card. To do so, you will have to explore the location surrounding Connacht. That's card 101. And success, if we do that, as soon as you have a Minhir Rights, resolve the Chapter 1 Part 5 card from the event deck and discard this card. Remember not to change the structure of the rest of the deck. And then hint, this is your first game. Try to return to Connacht at the end of this day and spend a night there to read the dream, as dreams often contain hints. Okay, so I'm going to leave our quest probably just there, or maybe there so I can read it better. Doesn't really matter. And then we're supposed to just have a go. We go into the start of the day. So we would remove expired Minhirs, and then we would discard locations that are no longer visible. So the first thing we have to do is reduce all time and Minhir dials. So we'll go down to 7. Then reveal the next event card. And I did read in, I think it was an FAQ, maybe it was a forum or something on BGG. Someone asked a question that, do we skip this or do we reveal the Chapter 1 Part 2 because we just took an event card, but no, we are supposed to look at Part 2 because we're in start of the day. So let's take Chapter 1 Part 2. Homeless vagabonds roam the roads and trails. Many hail from fishing villages further west, where the last Minhirs went dark weeks ago. Though malformed and sick, they're the lucky ones. Their tales chill you to the bone. Is this the fate that awaits your land? I can help the refugees. Each player may spend 1 wealth or 1 food to gain 1 rep and 1 XP. So let's see, we've got 3 food and 1 wealth. There is an action on Hunter's Grove that takes 2 energy to gain 2 food and draw a green encounter. And I know from the tutorial that that green encounter is going to give us another food. So I think I will give them a food. And that'll get us a reputation and an experience. Then it says place 5 -1 per player additional random events on top of the event deck. Okay. Shuffle this random event deck. I don't know why it says additional. There were no instructions to put random events on top of the event deck. I do have my combat cards sleeved, but I don't have any of the other cards sleeved. I didn't feel like there was going to be a whole lot of shuffling. I don't really think that during the chapter we'll be probably shuffling like this deck anymore. Okay, so it's 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Random events on the front of the event deck. Put that back in there. What is this deck? Oh, that's the rest of the chapters. Move guardians. Good thing there's no guardians to move. Pick active item and secret cards. I don't need to pick any of those. And then we go to during the day. Players perform their actions. So we've been given a couple of hints. We've been given a hint to explore our starting location. We've also been given the hint that we should end our day here so that we dream here tonight to get more hints. So maybe we explore first for an energy, and that will take us into the exploration journal 101. Connacht Farmhold. So we also can look at the min here. So this min here, while we're here, it's no energy to inspect the min here. So let's actually do that first before we do the explore. The local min here is weathered and cracked. It requires special attention. So it requires all characters, the min here writes secret card, and the Stone Shaper's Tools secret card. 2 energy, 2 health, 2 wealth, and 2 magic per player. Put a new min here model on this location and set its style to 8. If there aren't enough models left, take it from another location of your choice. Hint, the min here in your hometown will be beyond your help for quite some time. Other nearby min heres are easier to activate. But we need the min here writes secret card first, which is what we're trying to get in our first quest here. All right, so the farmhold. A deep feeling of loss fills everything in Connacht, from dilapidated farms to the sunken eyes of those who remain in town. The min here in the market is all but extinguished, and everyone brave or resourceful enough has left to find a solution. If you have the Winds of Weirdness status, we don't. If you have Secret Card 66, we don't. If you have the Hunter's Mark, we don't. Otherwise, choose one. Visit the families of the champions from the first expedition. Ask the townsfolk to help you prepare. Rest for the day in your own home. I don't think we want to rest. We're still at the very beginning of the day. Like, we don't want to rest for the entire day. Wander the alleys twisted by the weirdness. Only if the min here model is not in this location. It is, so we can't do that, or we could leave. So this gives us the choice between visit the families or ask the townsfolk to help you prepare. If we want to try to get some hints or clues, I think we'll talk to the families. So that says, if you find them, knowing more about them might help. Go to verse 1. What do I do with that? This long winter, nearly everyone here lost a friend or family member. First to hunger, then to disease. Finally, the 5 remaining pillars of the community, the only heroes this land had ever known, suddenly left. Now, when you look into the distant eyes of the last remaining residents, you realize they want to forget. I could loosen their tongues with mead. That'll cost me 1 wealth or 1 food. I could ask them to share their burdens. That requires 1 empathy, which I don't have, or I could leave. So, since I don't have the empathy, I need to give them either 1 wealth or 1 food. I really don't want to go down to just 1 food right away. I need to eat food tonight, and then maybe I could just plan to go to Hunter's Grove tomorrow for some more food. I'll give them the wealth. I mean, we need the food to survive. What's the bad effect of not having food? If you don't have enough food, drop your energy to 0. If it was already at 0, lose 1 health instead. So without food, the next step then is to restore, but for me as Beor, dropping my energy to 0 is going to cost me health because of my festering wound. So that's just going to slowly start ticking my health away. Still doesn't sound good. Anyways, we paid a wealth. We'll go to verse 2. It takes a while to break the silence of the grief-stricken people, but when you do, stories of separations and departures flood you like torrential rain. You try to remember every detail. The color of a pale fray horse the village priestess Niante rode. The ornament on the hauberk that young Lord Yvain wore. The strange drinking horn Earfear the smith used to lug around. The birthmark of Fael, the master huntsman. The embroidered cape of Albert. The seasoned traveler who'd seen all parts of the island. Who knows what detail can help you down the road. Gain part 1 of the fate of the expedition status, and then your exploration ends. So part 1, fate of the expedition. Okay, and then fate of the expedition says when you have parts 1 through 8 of this status, go to the Book of Secrets, verse 405. Okay, so that exploration has ended. So now, do I keep doing stuff here in town? I could gain a rep by doing chores. That would be 1. I got 3 energy I can spend before I become exhausted. I could move. I really want to check out these giant swords. They just look too cool. Warrior's Fair, the action here is 4. Oh, you know what? That doesn't need to be there anymore. There are several ways to gather food or heal around your starting location. We need to find them, though. All right. So that's discard. All right, so I really kind of want to check out these swords. We got Warrior's Fair here. That's 4 energy to do a combat trial. Lose 1 health, but gain 1 experience. You could do that once per day. But 4 energy, that's a lot. Forlorn swords. The charred conclave, I could go there to draw a gray encounter when you enter this location once per day. If I go here, that costs 1. If I explore, that'd be another 1, and then 1 to move back to have our dream back at our hometown. I don't have a wealth to do the action here. The action here was pay 1 wealth to draw 1 craftable item. I want to check it out. I'm going to move down to the Forlorn Swords. You can have a dream here, but I think we should follow the hints that the designers gave us and dream back here tonight. There's no men here there. So let's do another action, or another 1 energy to do the explore action. And this is card 105. Forlorn Swords. Really big swords. It says, sensing their own end, 4 dwellers order giants to push humans into the sea, but the giants abandoned their weapons here. It's kind of cool looking. They did a really good job with the art on this. I mean, usually you have to worry when you're designing cards about card bleed and how cards are going to connect up. But I mean, this art, you can kind of see the hilt of the sword transitions pretty flawlessly onto the card above it. Okay, we're exploring here. There's no men here. You rest a while in the shade of titanic swords, their rusty smell causing your nose to tingle. 100 yards away, an elder smith toils, chipping at the jagged edge of a giant weapon. The hammer he uses to break apart this ancient steel seems very strong, as does the sound it makes. If there's a quest token on this location, go to verse 14. Well, there's not. Otherwise, choose one. Attempt to climb one of the swords. Is that gold you see high up on the pommel? Go to verse 1. Try to talk with the smith. Go to verse 2. Rest in the shade of the sword. I didn't come here to rest. Do we want to talk to the smith? Attempt to climb one of the swords. We are also a blacksmith. Maybe he'll give us something since we both are smiths. Let's talk to the smith. Go to verse 2. If there's a dial on this location, go to verse 3. Well, there's not. If you're playing Beor, or if he's in your party, you know the smith. He and your missing master used to be friends. Go to verse 4. Okay, otherwise read on. So we go to verse 4. You apologize to the man politely and then hang back, watching. Each strike of his hammer against the surface of the sword produces a sharp, tingling sound. This old steel was shaped not with a tool, but with a song, the smith explains after a while. It takes the same pitch to break it apart. This hammer I have remembers the music of the foredwellers. After a while, the smith gathers rusty ingots from the grass and invites you to his hut where he shows you the rest of the process. If you don't have the riddle of the old steel status, each party member gains 1 experience. Okay. Gain the riddle of the old steel status. Riddle of the old steel. Then choose one. We can either leave, and the exploration would end. Attempt to buy the hammer. We'd have to pay from 1 to 5 wealth, then check the result in verse 8. We have no wealth. Attempt to steal the hammer. Only if you don't have secret card 27. Roll a die, add +1 for each practicality, and check the results. We would need more than a 6. I don't think I want to steal from somebody who I know and used to be friends with my master. I don't have any wealth to buy the thing. So I guess we just leave. So then our exploration ends. We got an experience point out of talking to somebody we know. All right, so if I wanted to explore again, I had the climb the swords option. I've got 2 energy. I don't have a wealth to draw a craftable item. Yeah, let's do it. I explored, moved, explored. I can go exhausted to move back to dream. Then I'm going to go up to 5. I'm already here. Maybe I can dream there tomorrow night. Oh, I forgot something. When I moved down here, I should have revealed this area. 108. The Grubwood. So that's the new area. The Grubwood. When you explore, when you enter this location, exploration is free. Hey, that's kind of cool. The reason it comes out is because I'm in an adjacent spot, and the menhirs do light up places that are diagonal from them, but you cannot move diagonally, only orthogonally. All right, so do I want to become exhausted on this first day? I know tomorrow I'm probably going to have to go up here to Hunter's Grove and try to get some food. So even if I don't become exhausted or don't move back here, it would cost me 2 to move up there tomorrow. And then I got to do 2 to do this gather food action on this card. Now what the hell, it's an exploring game, right? Explore again. So there's still no quest token. We're going to attempt to climb one of the swords. Go to verse 1. Try a free climb. Trusting your strength and agility. It requires 1 or more courage, which we have. You roll a die and add +1 for each point of your health. So right now I'm sitting at 9 health. So I could add 9 to it. Study the sword's surface. Find the best approach and climb slowly. Pay 1 energy per party member. Roll a die, then add +2. Then a +1 for each point of your health. So if I pay an energy, which will exhaust me, that's going to take my health down to 8, so I get less of a bonus. The last one is prepare ropes and climbing hooks. Proceed with extreme caution. Requires 1 or more in caution, which I have. Pay 2 energy per party member to add +5. No, I think I'll just go try a free climb. It doesn't cost me anything extra. So I will roll the die and add 9 because my health is at 9. So I got a 2. That's 11. Check your result in verse 10. That's interesting. There's an 8 and a 10. There's no 7 or 9. Okay, anyway. Our result was 11. You slip several times, cutting yourself on sharp edges before you reach the top. Each party member loses 1 health. If there's no quest token on the location card, go to verse 14. If there is, remove it. Go to verse 6. So there's no quest token. We go to 14. Sweaty and tired, you're now in a narrow niche that was once the sword's fuller. There you rest for a while, feasting your eyes on the wide open vistas of the island. From here, you can see there are 2 more menhirs near Connaught. One sits hidden between the mist-covered mounds of the Fordwellers. Another is in the hills near a cursed town known as Whitening. Put a quest token representing your progress on the location card. Okay, so that was the quest token it was talking about. If you have no energy left, you're too exhausted to go up or down, and the sun is already setting. Go to verse 15. I do still have 2 energy left. Otherwise, choose 1. Climb farther up. You look up and notice the sword's guard shining far above your head. Go to verse 1. I could descend. Exploration ends. Let's climb further up. So go back to verse 1. So we've got our same options here, which I think I almost have to do the free climb again. So this is going to send me to verse 10 again. An 11 was an okay score. That was a very bad roll. So I get to add 8 to it. If I spend an energy, that'll make me exhausted. That'll take me down to 7. That gives me 7 plus 2 is 9. And I get at least a 1, so I'd have at least 10. Yeah. All right, let's do it. I'll spend this. Go down to 7. So I get my die roll plus 9 because I paid. Oops, that slipped out of my hand. 7 for the health, plus 2 for spending the energy. Yeah, plus 9. still a 1, which is 10, which is the same result. You slip several times, cutting yourself on sharp edges before you reach the top. Each party member loses a health. If there's no quest token, but now there is, if there is, remove it, because we had some progress from our earlier climb. Go to verse 6. Okay, so 6 is one of these things that I actually didn't even know was in this game until I read, there's a little how to use this journal thing here in the beginning, and it talks about these kind of entries. So you line up these the skulls that are on one of the sides of these dials with how their picture is here in the book. Line them up like this. And then that gives you a number, 4, 4, 2, 7. So then you go into the Book of Secrets and read the verse that was revealed by doing that. You did it. You pull yourself onto the sword's crossguard, as wide as a moat. Startled seabirds watch from their nests. You stretch your arms wide as if to embrace the entire island. From here, you can see incredibly far away places. The pale, smooth walls of the four-dweller fortress to the northwest, the castle of Camelot far along the eastern shore, the reflective surface of the Mirror Lake directly to the north, and the sacred druid moon ring behind it. Yeah, there's the moon ring. That's probably the Mirror Lake. Four-dweller fortress to the northwest. I wonder if it's that or that. All right, and then you discover that many parts of the sword's crossguard and pommel are still covered in gold. If you don't have part 1 of the hidden treasure status, each party member gains 1 experience and 2 wealth and part 1 of the hidden treasures status. So 1 XP, 2 wealth. And hidden treasures, part 1. Exploration ends. So we traded 3 health basically for 2 wealth and an experience. Maybe 2. And the exploration ends. All right, so now the question is, do I end my day here and get the dream here? Or do I come back here If I end my day now, I'll go up to 5 energy, and I can move 1, 2, do the gather food process, or I mean action. I really should have that dream probably. But only having 4 energy, that's going to make me go exhausted again if I want to go get that food. I want to follow the hint, so it's going to set me back, but I'm going to do it. So I'm down at 0 for traveling. And now we end the day because we're out of energy. Consume 1 food to restore 1 health and lose a terror, but we don't have any terror. Restore to full energy. If you're exhausted, restore 4 points instead. So we go from 0 to 4. I can advance my character by spending experience. So I haven't really done anything with my dex yet, so I don't know if I need to get any new cards. 2 experience. I could also get my first point in a group, but my groups already all have 1 point. So the second point, so if I wanted to go here or here, that would cost me 4 XP. So I think I'll just bank the 3 that I've got for now. Modify your decks. I don't need to. If you're in a location with a dream icon, read the dream. Let's hope this was worth it. Dream. In your restless dream, a pale lady rises from the water, her eyes milky and her skin spoiled with rot. She whispers something into your ear. Her breath smells of sea salt, kelp, and rotten fish. You barely remember the words. There was something about 3 enigmas, one hidden under the Isle of the Dead, one clutched in the grasp of burned hands and arms, and one buried in a mist-covered mound. But what could it mean? Hint, the dream refers to 3 out of 8 locations surrounding Connacht. It's possible some of them are not yet revealed. Oh, and speaking of revealing, it's important to note that when I came down here, I did not reveal this card because there's no arrow on the side of the forlorn swords that would show that we could reveal this card over here. You have to go here to reveal this card. Okay, so Isle of the Dead. I don't know what that could be. Burned hands and arms. There's the charred conclave, which we haven't looked at yet. And there's like a statue with, looks like some fire remnants underneath it. And that's not a menhir. There's kind of like a little tent settlement thing in there too. The wind that caresses the long grass of the desolate highland also carries the smell of burnt flesh. Sounds like a pleasant vacationing spot. It's another one where the transition in the art is like seamless between the cards. It's pretty good. Also a mist-covered mound. This is kind of foggy looking here in the grubwood. Okay, that's our dream. Start the next day. Remove expired menhirs, reduce the time dials. So we go from 7. We've got 6 days left on this menhir. Reveal the next event card. So we've got a random event. Good weather. Your first travel today costs 1 energy less. Experienced journeymen know how to make the most of decent weather while it lasts. That's a beautiful thing to see. Good. So there are good random events, apparently. Move guardians. There are none. Pick active item and secret cards. There's none. Start doing our stuff. So I've had this plan to go up here to hunt. So I'll show you this card real quick. Hunter's Grove. There's a dream there. 2 energy to gather food. Gain 2 food. Draw 1 green encounter. In ages past, only the druids were allowed into the grove for good reason. That is now forgotten. Okay. Maybe we could spend that energy we save on exploring. Okay, so our first, oh wait, is it travel or explore? Yeah, our first travel costs 1 less. So that travel does not cost us any energy. Okay, so we're there now. We can spend 2 energy to do this action, which is to gain 2 food, which makes me feel better. And then we draw our first green encounter card, which is a, oh, let me go back, it's a mist-shaped vermin. So this has a lot of the tutorial writing on it. That all that text is not on all the cards. So this has an encounter value of 4. And the flavor text here is, you can't call yourself a true adventurer until you've killed one. And we are hopefully going to be a true adventurer after this is over. All right, so I'm going to take my combat deck here. And let's get our combat help card. So starting an encounter, draw 3 cards from the combat deck. 4 characters would be only 2 cards. So we'll draw our 3 cards. I can put the deck here. Let's see what we got. Final Blow. 1, 2, 3. And it has a bonus hookup with Courage. We could do Battle Cry first. To draw a card, that's not going to get us any cubes. Powerful Blow would cost us an energy to play, which would take us exhausted and cost us a health. Final Blow has nothing that you can hook it up to for bonus cards. I mean, maybe I start with Battle Cry to draw a new card. I hate to lose an energy with Powerful Blow. I mean, I could finish the fight off pretty severely, actually. I won't take any damage if I get 3 cubes on him, though. So no, wait, just lose 2 cubes plus 1 damage for Final Blow. If I do that, the card I draw needs to be good. I have to get lucky with the card I draw from connecting the key here. Or I just do the Powerful Blow and lose the energy, because then I know I can finish him off. I think I'll take the chance and see if I get a good draw. We will see how it goes. I could always stop here to prevent the damage too. Okay, so that's what I'm going to lock in. And this key is going to give me a draw. I didn't get any cubes up though. Let's see what I get. Crippling Strike. So Crippling Strike does not have any bonus keys on it. If I play Final Blow, it does have a bonus key that only gets me 3 cubes. I lose 2. I actually think I want to stop the combat here. The 0 to 2 result is a damage, but during the enemy action I can prevent 1 damage. So I think I actually stopped the combat here, or this round. Yep, I play cards. I played a card, so he's not going to get an opportunity attack. Victory check, no, I don't have any cubes. Then the enemy attack, his attack would be 1 damage, but enemy attack I prevented damage. Check readiness. I'm the only character. I would discard down to 3 cards. I've got 3. Draw a card. And then start the next round. Okay, so I got Hold Guard. This basically just sets you up to do All right, this is good. So this, since this is our first card of the round, we can basically play any card we want. It does nothing, connecting this key. I don't need to worry about the bonus key because it's the first round, and this is an enemy ability that happens when it attacks. But what that did do is set me up like this. This is the bonus key, and I have courage. So for finishing the aggression key, I get 2 cubes into the combat pool. And then the free key down here is a 2 times whatever this is. So that's 2 more. And that's a combat pool of 4, which will take out the mist-shaped vermin. And the loot from this card is a food. So I'll just take one of these, add it to a food. And since I've done with this first encounter card, I'm just going to take it out of the game, out of the campaign. We've had our first green encounter. All right. So, oh, I did it again. I did it again. I should be able to see. Let's look here. 4 dweller mounds. No, this is definitely the mist location that it was talking about. There's a dream there. There's a menhir there. I can treasure hunt for 2. Gain a terror, 1 wealth, and roll a die. And if I get a 6 on a 6-sided die, I can go to Book of Secrets verse 4. I'm just so excited to do the action on the card. So here's whitening. As soon as you enter it, you draw a blue encounter for 1 energy. I can trade with the townsfolk. I can basically exchange a food for a wealth. Once this place had another name and a busy market, today no one goes there. It sounds like every mall that I know of. So I don't think I'm going to become exhausted again on this day. I think I'll just end my day here and have the dream that's in this location. So we rest, consume a food to restore a health, restore to full, advance by spending experience. I still just have the same 3. I don't need to modify my dex. And I can have a dream. I'm in 102. If you have part 2 of the morning song status, your sleep is dreamless tonight. I don't have that, otherwise read on. You drift off under this ochre-painted constellation into a restless sleep, where you chase a young dove in the hills just outside Connacht. You wake early in the morning in a cold sweat, with several fresh cuts. The taste of blood fills your mouth. Beside you, raw pieces of meat lay carefully wrapped in leaves. If you don't have the Hunter's Mark status, each character in this location gains 2 food. Then gain the Hunter's Mark status. So we gain 2 food. That Hunter's Mark status, there was an option exploring back in Connacht with that status. Hunter's Mark. I guess that's why they suggest you take notes. There's not a very big notes section, so I'll probably keep some notes here. And then if I run out of room, I'll probably just get some side paper to take notes. Because little things like that, I'm never going to remember everything. A lot of reading. Got a drink. Okay, so we got 2 food in the Hunter's Mark out of dreaming there. I wonder if you should almost like try to dream everywhere there's a dream. There's a dream here, 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 here. One of the characters, when you have to flip a dial to see if you actually have the nightmare. That's his negative effect. All right, start of the day. Remove the expired menhirs. Reduce all time in menhir dials. 5 days left. Okay. Reveal the next event card. So we got another random event. Be another good one. Heavy rainfall. Each travel costs 1 additional energy. Every creek becomes a raging river. Every hill becomes a water slide. Okay, so we had good weather and then bad weather. It's a good thing I went up to 6 energy. Move guardians, pick active items, secret cards. Now, what do we want to do? So I think this misty covered mound was in the dream. This doesn't look like an island to me, so I wonder if this is the island that I was talking about. Charred Conclave, I think, is the burned hands place. I don't really see an island of the dead. So if I spend 1 energy to move over here, actually 2 energy to travel because of the heavy rain. It's each travel costs 1 additional, not just the first. Now that's kind of messed up. The good card only gave us 1 benefit from our first travel. Heavy rain falls every single travel. So we're not going to go far today. So I want to go to whitening. Whitening has a blue encounter. We haven't had one of those yet. I mean, obviously we've only had 1 encounter. Trade with the townsfolk to exchange. I've got 2 wealth already. There are menhirs there. Since this was in the dream, let's go over there. So we'll spend the 2 energy we need to spend to travel. It's going to leave us with 2 before we become exhausted. To go to the 4 dweller mounds. I don't think I read the flavor text here. With the former masters of the island gone, no one is left to guard their burial treasures. Hopefully. Okay, that makes it sound like something is there guarding it. Let's inspect the menhir. It's free. This is card 106. And if you don't know this game, and anyone who's watching this, I'm sure you probably do know this game. Some of this stuff is on the back of these cards. Like, let me compare where I'm at. 4 dweller mounds. Yeah, so it's basically this gray text. The activate a menhir tells you what's here. And I think that's pretty much it. So it's kind of flavor text. A little bit of flavor text. There's kind of a cool, there's more cool art on the back though. There's like a tower or something. But instead of like constantly flipping this thing over, I'm just going to use the journal. So now I'm actually kind of curious. No, we didn't even explore in the Hunter's Grove. Oh, that's cool. There's like a close-up of the giant skull that's kind of hinted at in the art on the other side. Is there somebody inside the skull? There's like some stuff in there. All right, I'll look at the back of the rest of them later. What was I doing? Oh yeah, I just traveled there. We're gonna look at the menhir. Requires all characters and the menhir right secret card, which we're trying to get. 1 energy, 1 health, 2 wealth, and 1 food. So it doesn't require that extra secret card that the one back in Connacht required. And it's cheaper. I think that one was 2, 2, 2, and 2. I should have wrote that down. Those are the kind of notes I should be taking. Okay, Let's spend an energy to explore. If you have the Winds of Weirdness status, remove this and replace it. We don't. The mist-covered mounds resonate with the sound of spades and pickaxes. Once, only insane treasure hunters worked here. But as more and more gold emerged from under the earth, these burial grounds turned into a regular mine, or at least almost regular. People still disappear or go mad here on occasion. We could wander deep into the mounds, go to verse 1, or we could chat with the miners, go to verse 2, or we could leave. Chatting seems like that's how we get like clues and stuff. Wander deep into the mounds. Let's chat with the miners. See if we can get, maybe there would be some clues or hints or something. Go to verse 2. Oh man, wall of text. You stop and listen to a miner's tale. They say a young foreman's apprentice once met a pale, sad girl between the mounds, and she ran from him without a single word. Over the following weeks, he kept slipping away from his work to wander between the mounds looking for her. He saw her 2 more times, but never managed to catch on. Finally, one day, he noticed the girl running into an open 4-dweller mound. He followed her. The place was dark and teeming with strange powers. The apprentice kept pushing onwards, even as voices taunted him and laughed. Finally, after hours of fruitless search, he emerged from the exit, only to discover his body and posture had changed. He was now a young, pale girl. He changed into the person he was chasing? Before she was able to overcome the shock of this discovery, a gruff foreman's apprentice spotted her. Shocked and ashamed, she ran away and wandered the mounds for days until she found an open tomb again. This time, there was an empty coffin inside. The girl was so tired she lay in it and fell asleep. She woke up in a comfortable bed as a 6-year-old boy who still shuddered from the intensity of his dream. This dream never left his mind, and finally pushed him to leave his village at the age of 15 and sign up as a foreman's apprentice in the mounds. It's like a very long Groundhog's Day happening to this foreman's apprentice. The man who tells you this story has sunken, sad eyes, full of fear and yearning. You thank him for his time and discreetly move away. If you don't have part 2 of the Burning Mystery status, each party member gains an experience. Okay, so we got an experience. Then gain part 2 of the Burning Mystery status. So I see a trend every time it says, if you don't have this, you can get this, but then you get it. That's how they prevent you from just going through a loop and just getting that same experience point over and over and over again. Burning Mystery, part 2. So somewhere we missed part 1, or we maybe not missed, but we haven't found part 1 yet. Unless they just start you at part 2 and then go back. Exploration ends. Well, we've got 1 energy left before we become exhausted. The action there is 2 energy. Gain a terror and a wealth. We've already got 2 wealth. The Menhir here costs 2 wealth to light, but we can't light it without the Menhir rights card. I say we explore again, and we're going to do the other thing. Wander deep into the mounds. Go to verse 1. No one was ever able to count the mounds, and the most experienced miners claim new ones keep arriving, though no one can explain how. How far do you dare to wander? So we've got 3 options. Stick to the places where other miners work, roll a die, and check your result in verse 8. Go just beyond the currently explored part. You can pay an energy per party member. Roll a die, and then check your result in verse 8. So it's, wait, I just get something. Add +1 for each point of your courage. And then go to verse 8. Walk and don't stop until you find something interesting. Pay 2 energy per party member. Roll a die, add +2 for each point of your courage. Check your result in verse 8. We've got 2 energy. We've got 1 courage. So if I pay the 2 energy, my health is not that bad. I just won't start with a bunch of energy next turn. I feel like getting a lot on the bonus here. I mean, this is pretty random. I don't want to go just straight up. That's probably a bad plan. So if I'm going to become exhausted anyway, it's just a difference between having 4 or 5 energy tomorrow. What the hell? We'll spend it. Oh, we become exhausted and lose an energy. So +2 per point of courage. So 3 + 2 is 5. Check your result in verse 8. You walk right into a creature of nightmare resting quietly between the mounds. Draw and resolve a purple encounter. Exploration ends. All right, I'm gonna get the book out of the way. So it's our first purple encounter. It's another mist-shaped vermin. I wonder if they're all mist-shaped vermins. It wouldn't make sense for the blue one to be. I think the blue one is supposed to be diplomacy stuff. All right. We need our combat deck. And just to be safe, combat overview. Three cards. Powerful blow. I can't lose an energy, so I can't even play this card. Risky attack. Or ignore pain. Powerful blow is like a dead card. Ignore pain I can't play as a bonus. I think we do risky attack. So this is going to be kind of fun. Oh, too far over. Risky attack here. We will connect to draw a card, and we're also going to get two cubes on it. Then we toss a dial. We might be able to take this guy out. So we'll connect it up. Right when we play it, we got to toss a dial. We got the Grail. So the Grail says gain 2 into the pool. We connect, because we have 1 practicality, we connected that key. We also get to draw a card, but it's not really going to do anything. It's another risky attack. We get a cube for the practicality. We get a cube for the free key down here. That's 4. Mist-shaped vermin defeated. So we basically traded the loot as a food. So that's going to take me to 6 food. So I'll put a purple and 1. There were other results that we could have gotten on that table from the die rolls. There was a 6+ result, and then an individual result on 1 through 5, and we got 5. So a bad die roll. I guess by spending the 2 energy, we needed to get at least a 4, so we had a 50-50 shot. I have no energy left. End of the day. Rest. Consume 1 food. Restore a health. Why do I feel like I didn't take my health down when I became exhausted? 4 energy. I've got 4 experience points now. It would be great to have another courage, actually. But that's going to cost 6 because it's the 3rd point. The Warrior's Fair. I could spend 2 days there getting some more experience. That doesn't seem smart. So I think this was also in the dream. We could come down here. That's going to take a whole day to travel down there. And we will become exhausted again. The only other thing I could do is get some new cards or get a point in spirituality. I did flip through this earlier. I don't think a point in spirituality while it looks like it would connect quite a bit, there's not a lot that would connect on the left side of cards to it though. I don't think I'm going to be spending the experience. I think I'm going to save up to maybe get the courage, or maybe I'll check to see if empathy. Don't need to modify the decks. And yes, there's a dream. We're in location 106. There are no dreams in this place. The sleep is as cold and silent as the mounds themselves. But there is a nightmare. That's probably why that dream symbol is there. Okay, start of the next day. Only got 4 days left. Till this min here goes out. So at least heavy rainfall is going to go away. So reveal the next event card. Beautiful weather. Your first travel today costs 1 energy less. When drawing a random green encounter, draw 2 and pick 1 with the smallest value. Getting some decent random events here. So travel costs 1 less. So I could make it to the charred conclave on the energy I have today, and then explore there tomorrow. I really feel like there was something else to do. Like I needed that die result to be higher. Now let's go check out the charred conclave. There's no guardians, there's no item or secret cards for me to do anything with. So I think this is just going to be a quick day. My first travel costs 1 less. I'll travel here. That's 2. Maybe I go to whitening and look at their min here. That'd be 1, 2. Stay there for the night. Get a blue encounter when I enter the location. Let's do it. We haven't done the first blue encounter yet. So I'll go here for 1 energy, and then I immediately have to do the blue encounter. So this is a diplomacy. Suspicious guard. A reward is a rep. There's only 1 stage. And this works similar to combat, but slightly different. The cards are just a little different. Okay, so diplomacy. We draw our 3 cards. Pick the active character. We are the active character. Three cards. There's no delayed abilities. So let's see what we got. We got to go up 3 spots. Let's see, there's no bonus key on this one. If we did that, because we have caution, that would go up 1 and that would go up 2, and our bonus key on caution. Yep, so I think this is good. So we play this one as our first card. We have caution and the free key. It doesn't really matter because we got the free key. It's the first card. But with caution, with that key connected, we do the action from that symbol. I don't know if I zoom in, if you can see this a little bit better. So there's like this intertwined flower looking, it's kind of like a Celtic tattoo kind of looking thing. And you look at the card and that symbol says we're going to go up 1 if we connect that key. So we go up 1 there. Then with misdirection, we do have 1 point of caution, so we can connect the bonus key. And here we've got a ×2 connecting the free key down here to go up 2. And then we can perform the affinity check. This one here, that symbol means if it's lost, if you discard the last card from the sequence. So I think if this one was discarded, this would go down and we would lose a rep, but because it says if, but we're not discarding it. We're doing the affinity check. We've played our cards. After that, perform the affinity check, which is if the marker's up here at the top, we win the scenario, or we win the encounter. So we just stop the encounter there because we have won. It's the last stage. There's only 1 stage. So our reward is a rep. So I'll just take this and put it in the rep. And that's the first blue encounter, so I'm just going to take that out of the game. So we had to do that because of the instant action here on whitening. Now, as a free thing here in whitening, I want to inspect the min here. Requires all characters and the Minhir Right secret card. Pay 3 energy, 1 health, 1 wealth, and 1 magic per player, which I don't have any magic. Put a new Minhir model on this location and set its dial to 9. Hint, if you lack magic, try to interact with the supernatural forces of the island. Supernatural forces of the island. So the 4-dweller mounds Minhir was the one that looked like it was within our reach so far. This one wasn't too bad, but I just don't have any magic to spend. I could pay food to gain wealth here. I don't think I want to explore. I want to come down here because this place was in the dream. I think it was in the dream. So we'll spend, oh gosh, I've got them zoomed in still. We're going to spend an energy from 3 down to 2 to come down here to the charred conclave. And I'm not going to forget, that reveals, okay, so there's an island here. So this is probably the place that, the other place that was in the dream. Healing rights, pay 1 wealth to gain 3 health. So I think it was probably this island. It said Island of the Dead. It's called Island Asylum. I don't see like a graveyard or anything. The place where humans first set foot on this island is now the last departure point for their sick. Okay, so it's probably Island of the Dead. You send people there to die? Sounds like a pleasant place to visit. Instantly when we come here, we have to draw a gray encounter once per day. So our gray first encounter, it's another mist-shaped vermin. All right. One, two, three. Powerful blow would cost us an energy. We've got risky attack again, and then just straight up attack. I think we do risky attack again, just to see if we can end this fight. We got the skull side, so this says when the enemy attacks, it's +2 damage. Oh, shoot. Ooh, we do get to draw a card. We need to get a bonus key from this card draw, so we draw a card. Oh, we got so lucky. Flip over 1 weapon or shield you're using to gain 2. We don't have any items. I think the way this works, so first let's check this. We've got 1 practicality and 1 free key here for 2 cubes. Yeah, these 2 cards over here do not have bonus keys on them. But we can connect throw. This is a double aggression, which we have, has the bonus key. We don't get that because we do not have double practicality. We're not spending any magic. But we've covered up the lower card so that the effect on that card for when the enemy attacks is not going to be there. We do get a cube from our free key down here. Then I'm out of cards that I can add to this chain. Since I'm out of cards, we go to the enemy attack. When there's 3 cubes here, it loses a cube as its attack, as its action. Then I would discard down to 3. I have 2. Draw a card. I need a good card here. Yes. Is this helpful? Not really. Start the next turn. So if I play this, as the first card. We just have the free key. But then I don't have any bonus symbols to do anything. You choose the enemy attack except run away. Discard the card after the attack. Oh, that's not good. I think we have to put attack down, even though that's going to get canceled. Wow, he's going to do 3. No, he's going to do 2 damage to us. I don't have the magic to spend for that. Yeah, I think we have to stop there, but we do get to put a marker on it. Okay, then it goes to the enemy attack. There's 2 cubes here, so it's 1 damage. But this has enemy attack +1, so that's 2 damage. Okay, we check readiness. Discard down to 3, I've only got 2. Draw a card. It's another powerful blow. I don't want to do powerful blow. That's going to hurt me. I might have to, though. But now we go to the top. Delayed abilities. Remove 1 time token, and then any abilities triggered. So we get to draw another card. So let's see what we get here. Grapple. So grapple. See, the thing with powerful blow is it does not have any bonus keys on it. Grapple actually would end the encounter. So if we put grapple down, we have double aggression, so it gets a cube. We're not going to take any damage. I have no bonus keys that will line up. It gets a time token, which is fine. So then I'm going to stop. Victory check is still no. Enemy attack. So when he's at 3 cubes, which he is, we just lose a cube. The enemy attack's bonus was if I would have received any damage, then this card would have been discarded, but I didn't. Discard down to 3. Draw a card. Top of the next round, delayed abilities. This comes off. And the time ability that's on this card is gain 3 cubes. So if you can time grapple right, it's a pretty good card. Because if I add the 3 cubes, then I end my turn and do the victory check. It's more than 4, so the misshaped vermin is dead. And our loot is 1 food. That was a little hairier. I mean, last time we took out a misshaped vermin with 1 on our very first round. Just 1 round of combat and it was dead. All right, that's the last first encounter. So now we're into random cards. All right. I think I'm going to end the day there. We will consume the food we just got to get a health back. We haven't been getting any terror. Restore to full, because we did not become exhausted. We can go to 6. I could spend experience if I wanted to get new cards. Modify your dex. If you're in a location with a dream icon, read the dream. 104. In your dream, you flee from a rolling wave of darkness slowly consuming the land behind you. You try to pick your paths carefully, making sure to gather ample provisions along the way, and to rekindle any menhirs you find. After a while, the wave catches up with you and swallows you whole. You come back to the start of the dream. This time you flee as fast as your legs can carry you. But hunger, dead ends, and the beasts of this land quickly end your life. Hint: to survive, you need to move fast, but not at the cost of your resources or survival tracks. Okay. Start of the next day. We're down to 3. Down to 3. Reveal the next event. This is the last random event we've got so far. It's another good weather. Your first travel today costs 1 less. If we have to get more random events out, I'm afraid that I've gotten a lot of good ones already. Okay, no guardians or items or anything to deal with. We're here to chart conclave. An hour 31 in. I'll go a little bit longer. Let's explore this and we'll see where this takes us. So let's spend an energy to explore. It doesn't take long to find it. Just have to follow your nose. The remnants of an enormous wicker man kneel at the bottom of a small vale. You were here when it was set alight years ago. The day was wet. The wicker man smoldered but didn't burn. Its victims, dozens of tightly packed druids, are still inside, their melted faces and charred beards pressed against the bars, and looking toward the gray, silent skies. Barely audible, ceaseless whispers seem to fill the air. If you're playing Maggot, or if he's in your party, go to verse 10, which we're not. Otherwise, stay a while and listen, go to verse 1. Dig through the remains, go to verse 2. Leave while your sanity remains intact, exploration ends. We've got a lot of energy, so we're probably going to go through both of these. So let's stay a while and listen. Go to verse 1. You stand there for a while, pondering whether this massacre was justified. The druids were blamed for the return of the Red Death, but without them, the plague kept on, while the menhirs weakened. The whispers in the wind become louder with every minute. There's still some form of life left in the burnt-out husks. You wonder what knowledge or madness they can bestow. Learn from the conclave. Pay 1 energy per party member. Go to verse 10. Or leave. The exploration ends. We will pay the energy. Go to verse 10. The lipless mouths sneer at you. The melted fingers seem to beckon and call you. An angry whisper grows like the sound of the sea. Finally, you realize they want you to come inside, to step behind the charred bars, where the black arms and melted fingers may close around you, into a place where your life should have ended with theirs. Go inside. Requires Maggot or at least 1 spirituality, so we can't do that. Put your ear to the bars and gather what you can from here. Go to verse 5, or exploration ends. We'll go to verse 5. After a while, you learn to distinguish singular voices in the maddening cacophony of whispers. Several threaten you or throw curses for what your kin have done to the druids. Some cry out in agonizing pain. One describes a secret invocation and a forgotten ritual. If you have at least 3 magic, go to verse 7. Each party member gains 1 magic. Each party member who has at least 1 empathy gains 1 terror. So each party member gains a magic. Exploration ends. So that's a way to get magic. We'll explore again. We'll dig through the remains, so that's going to cost us an energy. Go to verse 2. You hum a joyful song to drown out the whispers and get to work. Prying apart half-melted bodies is grim and foul work. I would think so. But you do find some valuables that were locked away with the unfortunate druids. If you don't have part 1 of the pillager status, gain 1 random non-companion item in part 1 of the pillager status. Part 1 of pillager. And one random non-companion item. Let's just shuffle this very quickly and draw an item. Fishing net. It's a craftable item. Discard this item to roll a die, adding your practicality and the number of tokens in the combat pool. If the result is larger than the encounter value, ignore the next enemy attack. Discard an item. So that's a one-use thing. Each party member who has more than 1 empathy gains 1 terror. Exploration ends. So, if we didn't have maggot or 1 spirituality, we've got 2 energy left. I guess I could get another. I'm almost thinking about spending the experience points to get the spirituality, just to see, because I don't have maggot and I only have 3 days left before I could be in some real trouble. I think I'm going to do this again. Spend. Oh, wait. Then I have to spend another energy. What can I do? I mean, going exhausted. It's not the end of the world. Yeah, I'm just going to do it. It's going to give me a magic. So I'll spend an energy to explore again. I'll stay a while and listen. Go to verse 1. Same stuff we read about the whispers. Learn from the conclave. Pay 1 energy per party member. So going exhausted costs me a health. To go to verse 10. I can't go inside, but I can put my ears to the bar and gather what I can. So go to verse 5. I don't have at least 3 magic. I think the 3 magic is the limiting thing here. Each party member gains a magic, and I don't have empathy, so it's not really costing me anything. So I'm trading exhaustion for magic. Yeah. And now I will end the day, and I'm going to actually level up my spirituality. It's probably not the best use of my experience. So I rest. Why do I feel like I should have a food? Oh, I ate that food last time, didn't I? Yep. So I consume a food. So now I'm down to 4. That heals that. I still don't have any terror, so I'm not very empathetic. Restore 4 because I was exhausted. Advance your character by spending experience points. So I'm going to go for my second point in this grouping down here to get a point of spirituality, and that costs 4 XP. And we'll see if that is smart. Modify your decks. I didn't buy any cards. The dream, I'm not insane or anything, and there was no dream. Is that what it said? Nope, I'm not in whitening. I'm in... Oh, that's the one to move fast, but not the cost of your resources or survival tracks. All right. Okay, start of the next day. Ooh, the min here's down to 2. Next event card. So we're on chapter 1, part 3. You recognize many constellations in the night sky: the twin warriors, the seal and her cub, the winch, and also the cup, which is said to have appeared in the heavens when Arthur claimed the Grail. Now it seems that one of the stars on its edge has turned red, as if the cup was leaking blood. What foul omen is this? Your time is running out. The next travel of every character costs 1 less. Place 1 additional random event on top of the event deck, then discard this card. Okay. So our next travel of every character costs 1 less. It's kind of a bummer that it's telling us that our time is running out. So we just have to remember that we get a free travel, basically. All right, I'm going to explore again and go down this road now that we've got some spirituality. So we spend an energy to stay a while and listen. Go to verse 1. Same stuff we read before. Learn from the conclave. Pay an energy per party member. Go to verse 10. This is the one where it says they want you to come inside. So we can go inside. It requires maggot or at least 1 spirituality. Go to verse 4. You break some of the bars open and step inside, choking on the foul smell. Closer, a voice in your head says. You lie between the charred carcasses and feel their arms wrap around you. Closer, the voice repeats, as hands begin to pull you in. Try to break yourself free. Go to verse 8, or lie still. Each party member loses 1 health and gains 1 terror. Then if you have the charred knowledge status, go to verse 5. Okay, otherwise go to, well, verse 5 is where we got magic. We don't have the charred knowledge status. I think we'll lie still. It's going to get us to this extra stuff down here. So we lose we lose a health, but gain a terror, our first terror. And now it's 111 is the dials. 111. Because we don't have the charge status. Yeah, okay. Oh, I just messed up the map. (111) Book of Secrets. Deformed fingers dig into your skin, bodies push from all sides, nearly crushing your ribs. Charred lips whisper into your ears. The pain is immense, but after a while you understand. They are not looking to punish you. They want to pass on the knowledge lost with them. Each party member loses a health. Another one. Gains an XP. Okay. Gain secret card 11 if you don't have it yet. Gain the charred knowledge status. Secret card 11. Secret card 11 is Minhir Rights. All right. You can now activate Minhirs. The cost of this action can be found at the back of each location with a Minhir symbol, or in the exploration book. Okay, cool. Congratulations, you've completed your first quest. You now know how to wake the ancient Minhirs. When you finish a quest, make sure you always follow the instructions in the success section of your quest card. New task. Get to a location with a Minhir icon and activate its Minhir before your time runs out. Exploration ends. So the success here was as soon as you have the Minhir rights, resolve the Chapter 1 Part 5 card from the event deck and discard this card. Remember not to change the structure of the rest of the deck. Okay, so we need Part 5. All right. A journey begins. Place this card on top of the active quest pile. Despite your best efforts to learn and perform the ancient rite, the Minhir in your town seems beyond your help. Disheartened, you realize your only hope is to try to enable one of the 2 statues from the nearby locations, which are the 4 dweller mounds and in whitening. We have some magic now. Magic was the thing that I was limited on for the whitening one. Quest: activate a Minhir in one of the nearby locations, 4 dweller mounds or whitening. It says it on the card. When you activate one of the Minhirs, resolve Chapter 1 Part 6 of the event deck and discard this card. Okay. And we do get to travel once for free. Our exploration ended, so we're done with that. Let's get up here to whitening. We get to travel for free based on this other card, this Chapter 1 Part 3 card. And then the Inspect a Minhir is a free action. It does not cost any energy. So let's look at this Minhir. I'm hoping we have the stuff. If we can activate it, we'll be done with this quest. And we can go to card 6. Ooh, it costs 3 energy, 1 health, 1 wealth, and 1 magic. If I pay 3 energy, I can do that. That costs me a health, and that costs me a health. I'm really hurting for health. I should have wrote this down, and I'm going to cheat a little bit and look at what the Minhir at the 4 dweller mounds. It's 1 energy, 1 health, 2 wealth, and 1 food. Down here on the island asylum, we could pay a wealth to get 3 health. So if we had to, we could travel. I could just end my day here. And this is going to tick down to 1. We'll get a random event. That could be bad. Yeah, I think I'm just going to end my day here and light this tomorrow, so my energy and health just doesn't deteriorate too far down. So we do have one energy that we can do something with. I could trade with the towns. Oh, shoot. I'm supposed to draw a blue encounter when I enter this location, because that is not a once per day thing like the Charred Conclave says. I'm just going to shuffle this. I know you're not supposed to shuffle it generally, but I don't think I shuffled it before, and that first encounter card was on it before. So we have to do a blue encounter entering whitening. Mourners. So this has 2 stages. A mourning ritual known as keening is now a common sight in Avalon. All right. It's a good thing we got some spirituality, because without that, this would not have been possible to defeat. There are 2 stages of this. 1, 2, 3. I don't think we're the best at diplomacy. So threatening voice, I'd lose a rep for playing it. It does absolutely nothing for me, though. Bizarre methods. Toss a dial. Skull, lose 1 rep. Grail, nothing happens. If I leave that as the top card. So first, with 1 spirituality, it would go up 1 with that. This toss a dial must be something that happens at the end. It doesn't have the instant symbol on it. Wow, this is bad. Wonder if I can just choose to fail this. Can you just choose to fail a diplomacy thing? I mean, I know you can escape a combat. My cards are terrible. Part of me always escape a diplomatic encounter. Simply apply the penalty list in the failure section of the card to each party member. Yeah, I mean, my cards are going to make me lose rep and stuff also, so I might as well just apply the failure, which is lose a rep and gain a terror for each point of your empathy. I don't have any empathy, so I'm not going to gain any additional terror, so I just fail. And then put this to the back. Not good at the blue encounters. All right, so I still have that energy. I'll do one explore here. The hole is here, as always, gaping right in the middle of whitening. The white lichen that gave this town its new name seems to grow out of it. It covers the walls of the nearby halls with a thick coat. Only close up one can discover it is, in fact, a layer of small, sparkling crystals, like sea salt on the wooden post of a pier. As you inspect it, several people watch you suspiciously. If you have the Fail's Legacy status, which we don't, if you have Winds of Weirdness, which I don't, if you're playing Aaliyah, which I don't, otherwise go to verse 7. If you have more than 2 rep, go to verse 12, which now I don't, thanks to the encounter, otherwise go to verse 11. Some sickly, whitening men block your way. You look like trouble, one says, and we have enough of that here. Leave. If you have 1 or fewer aggression, you calm your nerves, breathe deeply, and bring things down a notch. Go to verse 12. If you have 2 or more courage, the blood pounds in your veins. They will not tell you what to do. Go to verse 8. If you are hoping for a battle, the sickly and malnourished whiteners are probably a disappointment. It's not a real fight. Their bones snap like twigs and their skin parts under the softest blows. This doesn't sound good. Soon your opponents wriggle in the mud, bleeding, crying from pain, and cradling broken limbs. Horrified children run out of the shacks to protect their mothers and fathers. It's hard not to feel bad about yourself. Each party member loses a rep. Each party member who has at least 1 empathy gains 2 terror. Exploration ends. Okay, so that went sideways. So I need to know next time I need to come back with 2 rep as Beor, or else I won't be able to do anything other than lose rep here. All right, so I'm just going to end my day now. I will consume a food to gain a health and lose a terror. Restore to full, which I can do because I got the health back. Advance your character. I'm not going to spend any experience. There is a dream here. Your dream of home is understandable, considering for the first time in your life you've wandered so far from it. But why is everyone talking and walking backward? Question mark. No hint or anything. Okay, start the next day. This min here goes to 1. And we reveal the 1 random event that got put, and it is dense mist. Each exploration in locations without a settlement costs 1 additional energy. So thick you can barely see the tip of your nose. Move guardians, pick item and secret cards, get our Minhere Rights card and a fishing net card. Okay, and now we're going to do stuff. Now we're going to inspect the Minhere. We've got the Minhere Rights. If we pay 3 energy, 1, 2, 3. Yeah, there's no way I'm exploring here again because I don't have enough rep to do anything with the people in this town. My aggression is too high. 3 energy, 1 health, 1 wealth, and 1 magic. So we'll take this Minhere. This guy that's got these candles hanging from the side. A bunch of rope and stuff on his back and the candles down on the bottom. Set his dial to 9 minus 1 per player. So we've got 8 on this dial. They should talk to me. I'm lighting their Minhere. Oh, if you lack magic, try to interact with the supernatural forces of the island. I guess the dead druids in the chart conclave count for that. So now our quest. Activate a min here in one of the nearby locations. When you activate one of these min heres, resolve the Chapter 1 Part 6 card of the event card deck and discard this card. So Chapter 1 Part 6. Congratulations, you've completed your first chapter of the Fall of Avalon campaign. Each character gains 2 experience and 1 magic. 2 experience and 1 magic. Each character gains 1 free combat deck advancement. See the character advancement section of the rulebook. Discard your event deck, placing and discard random event cards back in there. Shuffle this deck. Either save your game or draw a Chapter 2 setup card. Okay, so we made it through. So I'm going to have to reveal this spot and this spot, right? Is there one up there? Yeah, 114 and 117. But I'm going to save that in advancing my combat deck for next time, setting up Chapter 2 for next time. So there you go. Pretty cool little system they've got here with the exploration journal, the save sheet, and the min heres and stuff. So this min here is about to go out, and it's probably just going to be out. So we're going to lose access to this stuff down here. This will stay lit from that one. Just the min here model will come off. And I think we can light this one fairly easily, so we can have Warrior's Fair and maybe check out, we're going to check out this part of the map now. All right, leave me any comments down below. I'm excited to continue on with this, this game, in addition to all the other stuff I got going on the channel. Hope you enjoyed this playthrough. I'll see you in the next one.